on SiriusXM channel 127. It's Monday, March 1st. We made it to March. That's the good news. So right now, the GOP, there's all this debate, are they having a civil war or not? Well, they might be having some infighting over how much they're going to praise Donald Trump. But there's one place there's complete unity in the GOP, and that is saying no to Americans in need. On Saturday morning, the House of Representatives passed the COVID relief bill. Yet every single Republican, every single one in the House voted no. They voted no to $1,400 for each adult for stimulus payments, including for children as well, meaning it could be over $5,000 a family. They voted no on funding to reopen schools. Some schools can't afford the ventilation system and the equipment they need. They voted no to that, even though they say they want schools to be open. They voted no to extending unemployment benefits. They voted no to money needed for vaccine distribution. They voted no, 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 no. And it's unbelievable. And why do they vote no? Well, here's the lie. Because so much of the GOP and surrounding this debate is exactly what we've seen from them for the last few years. It's a combination of lies and hypocrisy. The GOP didn't have lies and hypocrisy. They'd have nothing. Oh, they'd have the white supremacy. But lies and hypocrisy is really their brand. You have Kevin McCarthy, the House Minority Leader, saying on TV last week, only 9% of the $1.9 trillion relief bill goes to help for COVID relief. We had Republican after Republican repeat that lie. They know it's a lie. It's been fact-checked the crap out of it for like a week in advance. They know they're lying. They don't care. They want to continue to lie. Out of the $1.9 trillion relief bill, almost all of it goes to either directly or indirectly for things related to COVID. For example, right off the top, $160 billion goes for vaccines, testing, and other specific coronavirus containment efforts. So right off the bat, you've got that. Then you have, and we all know this, COVID is not just a health crisis. That's the primary thing, but as a result, it's caused an economic pain throughout this country. Nearly 20 million Americans, as of last week, still 20 million, are collecting some form of unemployment. Last Thursday, 750,000 approximately Americans filed for first-time unemployment claims. Just last week, 750,000. Pre-Trump recession, on average, 200,000 a week were filing for unemployment claims, giving you a sense of how difficult the economic times are. Studies have shown that hunger has gone up in our country, including millions of children literally going to bed hungry in our country now. Spike of 6 to 7 million more Americans filing for food stamps in the last year, a huge jump from the year before. That's what's going on. This COVID bill, $1.9 trillion, focuses on helping Americans there. For example, $420 billion of it, $420 billion, it's like right off the top, you're like almost a quarter of it goes to direct stimulus payments, $420 billion. For extending unemployment, which ends in about 2 weeks for many people, that's $350 more billion. Where's the 9% of the entire COVID thing? We're already up to almost $800 billion, $130 billion for school openings. That's 7% alone of the entire relief bill. You've got $50 billion to extend healthcare subsidies for the Affordable Care Act. You've got $47 billion in various small business programs, $19 billion to help people pay their back rent. You get it. Overwhelmingly, this is for COVID relief, either for the health part or overwhelmingly for the economic part of the states and localities as well. Funds for them. They put out so much money in advance, overtime for police officers. Apparently the Republicans want to screw these cops over, but we saw what they did to the cops on January 6th. So them screwing them over is actually a step up from what they did to them on January 6th when Trump's terrorists attacked our Capitol. But the reality is you're watching the Republicans now not just lie, but now the hypocrisy. And it's like an overpowering stench of hypocrisy. Can you smell it? These same Republicans now say, oh, we can't add to the deficit. Had no problem in 2017 voting for a tax cut that helped the wealthy. And how much was that tax cut add to our deficit? $1.9 trillion. Exactly the same as this program. The difference is this $1.9 trillion doesn't help the GOP donors like the tax cut for the wealthy. And when I say that, actually help the wealthy, by 2027, did you know this? Of the GOP tax cut, the top 1% will end up receiving nearly 85% of all the benefits. That's not me saying, that's nonpartisan economic experts. The top 1% will receive nearly 85% of the entire 2017 GOP tax cut by 2027. They do that tax cut for their donors, for the wealthy who give $1 million and $2 million to their super PACs. That's what they did it for. But now for the rest of America, middle class, lower class, people who need help. Doesn't matter what your party affiliation is. They don't care about you, the GOP, because you can't give money to their super PAC. You can't line their campaign with the maximum contribution you're allowed to give it as an individual. You can't do that. They don't care about you. They're saying it right now. So these lie, one lie after the other. In fact, the GOP tax cut in 2017, they even did other bonuses to make taxes lower for hedge fund people like Wall Street guys. Also, they raised the minimum for paying on your estate tax from $11 million to $22 million to really help the uber rich GOP donor class. That's all they care about. It's no joke. That's all they care about. You know it as well. There are Trumpers who still will support the GOP knowing they really don't care about you in that way. They care about you another way, like owning the libs and white supremacy. They don't actually care about making your life tangibly better. And that's what this bill would do. So here we are. We have the Republicans fighting a bill that has approval of some polls, 67% of Americans, other polls showing 75, 80% of Americans. Most polls show a majority of Republicans are on board. The GOP is saying no, because they made the cold calculation that politically it helps them more to say no to the Democrats than help Americans in need. And that's today's GOP, and that's the GOP for years and years. This is not the Trumpism of the GOP. This is the cruelty of the GOP we've seen for years. Again, they're saying no because they think it helps them in the midterm elections. Saying no to Democrats is more important because it positions them for 2022 than saying yes to people in need. That's your GOP, my friends. So we'll talk about that more on my show tonight. We got a lot to cover. Attorney General Keith Ellison from Minnesota is going to join us, and our friend Rick Unger. Show's live 6 to 9 p.m. on channel 127 on Sirius XM. Again, if you don't subscribe to Sirius XM, go to the website. There's free trials. Check it out. Get a free trial. Watch the show. Listen to the show. Call in. Be part of our family. We got a lot of work to do, my friends. If you want progress, stay active. Thanks for tuning in to tonight's preview of the Dino Bidala Show.